lot of songs.
Beautifully
It helps out, you know.
and off I went on these.
He's inspiration for
But I always had
Ethan's Goodies.
It's Goodies, yes. And he was also
Mr. Jones in it too.
That's right. Yes, we needed a sample for that. Yes. He's helpful. He's a member of the band.
Okay.
And I'm a lot of other things. But
How does American Head affect you when you listen to it?
And I love to look
It's just
at
whacked out,
people,
you know.
and the first thing
What
I
does it do
notice
to you?
is I look around for kind eyeballs.
I got-
You'd be surprised how many there are.
That was creative.
And to me, kind eyeballs are the
Yeah.
kind that say, come on in, it's all right. We know you're not perfect, you're likely to make mistakes, your syntax may be atrocious, your grammar may be unbelievable. You may even say some things that are positively stupid, but it's all right. You can come in, and if you get lost, you can get down into me, and I'll give you the strength, and you can go on. And so I look for those eyeballs, and I'm not ashamed of it. In fact, when I start a class now, the first thing I do for the first 5 minutes, and this really freaks my students, is I just stand there with a silly smile on my face, watching them come in.
I want to ask.
You know, and I think, you know, we're strangers now, but in a little while, we're really going to be close. We might even in some way touch each other really deeply. Well, I knew that I had found my
I think
eyeballs.
American
I had
Head
only said
is
about
a questioning
maybe 5 minutes of material.
the intent of the
And I found it
listener,
in the eyes of a very attractive
just
young lady.
such as you are questioning the
You
intent
that
of
were
the
my eyeballs
cameraman.
because they were glistening and
You're
dancing,
breaking down
and
the
they were the kind of
boundaries
eyeballs that
between
said,
music
yes,
and
yes, you're so
pop.
right.
What
And
is
everything
that?
I said, there was some kind of vibration coming out of those eyes, and I was delighted I'd found them so quickly. And she was writing down everything I said. And you know, I have a thing
I
about
really like your take on
I
it.
teach mostly graduate courses.
All right.
And we're so conditioned graduates that they write down
You
everything.
looking in from the outside.
You know, I've said drop dead, and everybody writes it down.
Because we,
It's going to be a trick question on the exam.
I'm going to have the same way you did.
Here was this girl. Voluntarily mandatory. And one of the things that is voluntarily mandatory in all of my classes is that everybody
It's
see me.
really cool how we just like end up with
least
something
once
that sounds
during
cool,
the
even though we
semester.
don't like so many times.
I don't want you to bring your
like,
books,
let me try this,
and I
put
don't
it
want you
together
to
with
bring
this, and
any
then it comes
problems.
out.
I just want you
A lot of
to
times.
sit across from me, and I want to share my eyeballs and your eyeballs and my smile and your smile. I want to tell you my place and your place. I want to get into your space and sound. Just the two of us. And I always tell them too, because many of you know, you asked earlier if you had ever been hugged by me. If you haven't, you haven't been intense. And so I tell my students, when you come to see me, I'm going to touch you. And if that bothers you, you better take your tranquilizers. And then I go out, and there they're sitting in the waiting room, and I see Sally, and I put my hand out, and I say, I'm so glad you came to see me. Sally.
What's your name?
Wet hand, and I cover it with mine, and I bring her slowly into the room, and I can see on her face this expression of, my God, what is he going to do? You know, I'm not going to do anything to you, Sally, except show you in my way that I am human.
What was your first?
And I think one of the funniest things I was saying to an audience this afternoon, and I had to share this with them. One of the funniest things I have ever seen. It shows you how alienated we've come from human contact. And that is a young lady that came in and she sat across from me and she was really behaving in a very strange way. Her eyes were sort of crossing every now and then, and her head was nodding. And I thought at times she was having small seizures or something. And all of a sudden she stopped and she said, oh, with tears, Dr. Biscotti, I can't stay here any longer. She said, I was so scared about coming in to see you that I drank a bottle of Whipple and I'm sick. Imagine having to get stoned out of her mind to come and see a professor.
Right here in front of me. That's the kind of guy that inspired that sort of verbal behavior.
I'm happy to say that she came back sober, and we were fast friends, and we've been so ever since. But anyway, I was waiting for this young lady to come and see me, because I really wanted to tell her that that I cared about her, that her being in my life made a difference, and that it did matter to me that she responded to what I said. Whether she liked it, whether she didn't like it, she let me know, and that was nice. It was kind of an affirmation of my being, which I so much need. You see, I can't be without you.
I guess that just goes to show you
It
how
takes
dull
two
everyone else in our
to
school
see
was.
one.
Yeah.
You can't do it alone.
I told Leah
You
that.
need feedback. And she was giving it to me. And I wanted to say thank you. And that's another human thing I'm not ashamed of.
Really? Good. Leah was
And about
actually-
5 weeks into the semester, she didn't come to class, and then she didn't come again and again and again. And I became very concerned about her absence. And I went into the area where she was sitting and asked some of the students, and nobody knew anything about her. But what shocked me more than ever is that they didn't even know her name. They had sat next to her in a classroom 5 weeks, and they didn't even know who this girl was. And I'm not ashamed to say that I'm very ego involved with my students, and I wanted to know maybe what I had done or not done to turn this girl off. And so I went to our Dean of Women and I asked her, and some of you may know Joan, she's a very tender, loving person. And I asked her about this girl. I said, I want to talk to her because I want to know what And she sort of thrilled and she said, haven't you heard? This girl Palisade, which is an area in Los Angeles. Sheer herself off the cliff. I can't help asking myself again every year, what does it matter? And we had succeeded as educators.
All right, let's go.
In
This
teaching
way.
her to read and to write and to spell.
Follow me.
If we lost her, and if we allowed her sight,